Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Welcome to our continuation of Helsing's Talk. Yay! My name is Angelina, your host. So this week we are going to continue to look into some of the places in hell. Okay. Last week we have already known that where you go is determined by what you have done. Okay, all along we have also said that whatever karmic seeds that you planted will reap the kind of fruits or the kind of whatever you want, okay, vegetables or whatever, okay, but the law of cause and effect is the only real thing that is happening in this world. Okay, even if you were to talk about time, space, everything is just a concept. Okay, money is just a concept. Everything material is actually just a concept. And how do we go around about this, understanding the concept about all this that manifest around us? Okay, the material things, the immaterial things, everything is a manifestation of our own thoughts. All right, if you like to understand more, we can refer back to the Infinite Lifetime Sutra. I've given some explanations about it. Even the earlier episodes of Hell Scenes have already explained a lot about it. So if we were to make a very quick reference to the Dhamma Sutra, it says 凡所有相皆是虚妄. So anything that has a form is just an illusion. So what has a form? My physical self is a form. Okay, my everything that you look, okay, over here, all the camera, everything, even right now this microphone, this camera that is taking, everything is a manifestation, okay, from an illusion. So how do these illusions come from? All these illusions come from our mind. So where did our first birth come from? Our first birth came from that very first thought. In the Paticca Sutra, it is already said ignorance is the root. Okay, if you're to look at the cause and effect, the first seed is actually ignorance. The very first why conjures like a big bang. Everything just boom, immediately. Everything that is here now. If you were to look at the development of science in astronomy, right, they have discovered something like, oh, suddenly there was this nova thing, and then there was a big burst, and then previously there was the Big Bang Theory, etc. Okay, so until now science have not been able to discover how it happens. They can only see it happening. They can only discover its presence, right? But it has been happening years and years, aeons and aeons, okay, non-stop in this entire universe that we don't even understand. We can't even understand our Earth entirely. What more about the universe, right? It's about the galaxy, it's about the space, it's about the entire universe. And is there just one universe, or there are many universes out there? Okay, so these are the things that our current science and technology are not able to explain fully. Okay, but we don't waste time on that, because if you want to waste time on this, it is similar to when you are sick. You want to, instead of going to the doctor to get a prescription of your sickness, you go to the police to investigate how or who gave you that sickness or how it happened. By the time you see how it happened, you may actually be dead. All right, so we go to the prescription. How do we stop this ignorance? Okay, this ignorance has boomed everything that is around us. So similarly, the hell, okay, or the heaven, okay, but over here we're talking about the hell scenes. This one, okay, so what are the manifestations? Okay, it is based on our karma. What kind of karma will lead you to what kind of hell? Okay, if we were to look at number 15 over here. Okay, people go to different hells according to their sins. Dictated by the cause of one's karma, one will go to a specific hell according to one's past deeds, as the due punishment is personally experienced and served. Okay, the experience and the serving in the previous episodes and many previous episodes before this. Okay, I have also spoken of one gentleman, okay, the one who actually talked about the health since his visits and all these things. Okay, there was this. By day he is a minister, by night he is also a minister, okay, a judge. So by day as a minister he administers people, all right, he will do his civil services and everything. And by night, little ghosts, okay, goblins or whatever you call them, okay, they will bring him on a wooden sedan chair, bring him down to hell, okay, to King Yama's kingdom. What does King Yama's kingdom look like? Last week I forgot to show you guys because I was too busy doing the explanation. Wait, let me flip the book. Okay, if you look at this, when a person dies, okay, you see this this gentleman here, this one here, it is, this one is like the general who comes over, okay, and then after that he is the one who will look at your, the good and the bad that you have, okay. It's like he is doing all the records and he is more efficient than any supercomputers that you have. So from your birth right up to your death, and from your death to your next destination, okay, upon death you go into this place where you will actually be brought in to see what you have done. And then this is the first hall, okay, the hall in which when you go there you will be judged, and you can see everything that you have done in your life. There is no way for you to hide from it, okay. All your good and your bad will be reflected in the mirror, okay. um my Somebody asked me who is King Yama, okay. This is King Qin Guang. Okay, King Qin Guang is the judge in the first hall. Okay, at the first hall, King Qin Guang's hall, you will be judged, and everything will be weighed accordingly. And there is no way for you to defend. As I've said earlier, there is no way for you to defend. If you were to do good, then you have good, okay, merits. If you do bad, then you have the sins. So it is a very fair scale, the good that you do versus the bad that you have also done in your entire lifetime. So if your good outweighs your bad, then you will be brought for reincarnation. Okay, but if you do bad more than you do good, then you will be brought to the various hells for your punishment. Okay, in between there is no proceeding, in between you have no lawyer to defend you. So that's why the hall of King Qin Guang is different from our mortal hall. Okay, our mortal hall says that you will need to have a defense, or like in companies, right? In companies, sometimes you have DI, something which we call DI. Okay, that one is a domestic inquiry. So sometimes, because humans are working at, I will say, snail pace, all right, it is nothing as fast as how King Qin Kuang rules over here. Over in our mortal world, we have limited, we limit ourselves with time, we limit ourselves with space and everything else. So there's always this thing, court proceeding set to don't know how many months away. Okay, everything in our mortal world you will need to wait, everything including getting medical treatment. Okay, if you don't have money, and then even if you have money, you go to a hospital, you go to a private hospital, you don't get immediate attention if the nurses are busy, if the doctors are busy. So how do they keep you busy? You go in, you have to do the registration, you have to do all these things, you have to pay the money, you have to wait at there, and then they will start taking your weight, your how tall you are, how much you weigh, and then start taking a history of whatever that seems relevant to you. Okay, so they keep you busy because their doctors are busy, they keep you busy because there's no one attending to you, and then you just spend your time that way. So in the first hall, okay, when we're talking about um the paranormal world, this time and space concept does not exist. Okay, in fact, if you were to go to back to the point when you succeed as a Buddha, when you return to your true self as a Buddha, the entire concept of time and space is like nothing to you. Okay, you can transcend, you can go beyond, you can be at this existence. All right, if let's say today me Angelina has become a Buddha, I right now I can be talking to you in front of the camera this way, right? You are clicking on this at 6 o'clock on a Thursday watching this video. But if you were to look at that situation where it is like as a Buddha, right? I can be here, but at the same time, I can also be in another Buddha world, in the different Buddha worlds, and I am listening to other Buddhas preaching to me. Okay, I can go back to the past, I can go forward into the future. There is no constraint because time and space are actually concepts that we have imposed upon ourselves due to our ignorance. Like, poof, the entire universe came out. Okay, so when we're talking about this, we go into the first punishment that is being featured over here, okay, which is the pillars, right? Everyone will just be punished according to all the sins that you have done. You may escape, okay, like for example, there are loopholes in the juridical system, maybe, okay, the law says that, okay, there when we're talking about this, there can be a lot of loopholes in the in the systems that we have today in the world. Okay, you can have the stringent laws about criminal activities. You can have very powerful punishments, okay, like maybe like lifelong punishment or even the death sentence, but still there can be loopholes. Okay, so over here in hell you won't have any chances for the loophole. So we look at the first hell, the hell of pillars. Okay, hell of pillars. How does hell of pillars look like? Wait, let me see and let me show it to you. Hell of pillars. Ooh, show you. this book you can this book you can actually download or read it online, you know. It is the link is available on the description of this video. Okay, hell of it. There it is. Right, look at this number 16. Okay, this is the hell of pillars. Okay, and down there you see one is hell of pillars, the person is hugging on to the pillar. The other one is the iron bed. Okay, the fella is actually lying on a flat bed that looks like your burger flipping stove. Okay, so this one, pillars, right, and that burger flipping thing. Okay, can you see clearly? Right, okay, so now we look at the explanation of it. Today we can cover these too. All right, what does the description say? The hell of pillars. It is said, lewd thoughts arise from a comfortable life. Today, sexual indulgence is widespread. Most who suffer in this hell indulge before their deaths in sexual misconduct and adultery, in the selling of pornographic books, tapes, and discs, or in the photographing, writing, possessing, or was involved in the public exhibition of pornography and similar materials. These people will be sent to this particular hell after their death. They will be forced to embrace a red-hot burning copper pillar, die from burns all over their bodies, and then be reborn repeatedly in this hell as a form of perpetual punishment. This pain and suffering will be unbearable. Once these people can eliminate their bad karma, they are often reborn as animals, ending their karma as animals. If they are to gain a human form, usually poor, despised, have short or harsh lives. Okay, and then we continue with the hell of fire iron bed. Okay, because just now I was showing you one hugging the pillar and one on the plate, because both are almost the same. Okay, the hell of fire bed is like a cooking grill. Males who engage in sexual misconduct will be forced to embrace a copper pillar as females suffer on an iron bed. We read that those who like to take lives or cook flesh in various ways, or those who trample on small insects, come to this hell to suffer after their death. The period of suffering in this hell is inconceivably long. If they completely eliminate this type of karma for this hell, but they still have other karma, they will be sent to other hells to clear those karma. Okay, these two are heavy penalty, okay, involving fire. Okay, the punishment, one is embracing red hot flaming pillar, the other is you are flipped like a burger. Okay, so the first one about the pillar, why is it that people who indulge in pornography, indulge in sexual misconduct, okay, will be sent to such a pillar? Okay, you have to understand, in Chinese, okay, or maybe in uh, languages, any languages at all, the ancient people, they have the wisdom of referring to such um, acts, sexual acts, okay, as passion. Passion is um, related, as they always relate it to fire, okay, because the body will burn, right, the feelings will be like flaring and stuff like that. So when we look at what is happening in the society today, okay, even as I am recording this video at this period of time, okay, and this period of time, in the US, there is a case against a celebrity who has been um, caught, okay, for sexual harassment. Okay, and the harassment is not just a simple kind of sexual harassment. Because this celebrity is very rich, okay, the indulgence of the sexual acts is such that they will have something which has been termed as orgy by the masses. Okay, so they will get all these young beautiful celebrities also, okay, those who are rising stars, and then there will be performance of lewd acts against these young celebrities, be it male or female. Okay, so all these sexual indulgence are actually a disease of the mind. Okay, very, if I can have it, okay, I will downright ban pornography. Okay, why? Because if you were to look at people who are, okay, over the generations, the books of wisdom, okay, regardless of which civilization, okay, the books of wisdom, you will see that they do not encourage the indulgence of sexual activities. Okay, so a lot of times when we look at the kingdoms, okay, when kingdoms are flourishing, okay, when they are growing, you will see there is always the praise of the emperor and his good conduct, okay, the kings and their good conduct. And these kings and their good conduct is such that they will take good care of the administration of the country. They will be obsessed with, I will say obsessed, okay, obsessed with learning of education. They will look back at the ancient texts and try to understand what the ancient leaders are trying to teach them, ancient teachers are trying to impart the kind of knowledge to them. They will be more inclined towards finding the wisdom and then find out the reason of this life. Okay, why are we alive today? Why are we in this world today? What is the purpose of our lives? Okay, they will be um, concentrating their attention, having focusing everything on this. Okay, in fact, they will promote culture, and the culture that they're promoting are quite similar to what we are trying to promote these days. Okay, the culture of um, tolerance, the culture of harmony, the culture of respect, the culture of helping out each other, the culture of, being together, united with other people. Okay, the way that we are to conduct ourselves, whether in private or in public. Okay, always remember, even though you are in private, okay, some people, if you were to look at the things that's happening around us today, okay, sometimes, okay, earlier I was not really paying that much attention, but then, you know you will see sometimes there are people who may park their cars at shopping malls, okay, and then instead of going into the shopping mall, they will be picked up by other cars, okay, another car, and then goodness knows where they're heading to. Usually they may head on to some private house or to some private hotels, and then they think that by doing their whatever um, acts in private, then nobody will know. Okay, sure, no mortal will know in your privacy. But remember, okay, earlier in this video, I have shown you that guy in the red robes. He is collecting your good and your bad. In fact, each of us are born with two. Okay, if you didn't notice, the red one that I show you at the side, there's also another white one. Okay, so these two in the Western cartoons, especially, you will see that there is one angel and there is one devil, right? So who are this angel and the devil? All right, so this is not something that is unique to Buddhism. This is also not something unique to the Eastern civilization. In fact, the Western civilization, they'll tell you there's an angel and there's a devil. And how did they come into that concept? Some will just interpret it as people have the good and the bad side of it. But actually, each of us are born with two guardians. Okay, I will say that these two guardians, yeah, guardians. So they will record, one will record all your good, one will record all your bad. So the good and the bad will have all the records together, and that is how, okay, you will be, your entire records will be brought to King Chin Kung's hall, okay, during that time when you have expired this body and your soul is brought into the hall for your judgment. That is one way of a judgment day. Okay, so they will record your good and the bad, and the good and the bad is not just like charity $1, and then after that stealing $2. It's not like that. Okay, the entire thing will also record your heart, your intention, right? Yeah, the person may have charity $1, but probably this person at that time is very, very poor. Okay, so food, daily meals to this person is probably a problem. Okay, so but he is able to, with his sincerity, bring out that $1 for charity. So the even though the amount is small, remember, material is also a concept. Okay, material is just a manifestation. The important thing is still your inside. So when your manifestation of just that, you can only bring out that $1 for the donation, but your intention, the purity of your charity, okay, will outweigh, okay, that may actually outweigh that $2 that you stole, right? So it is a very complicated system because it will involve looking deep into yourself, the intention of it. So don't be afraid of doing charity, but I've always said, okay, do charity, but keep it under covers. Don't let people know that you have done charity. You do good, you just keep quiet about it. Other people want to talk about the good that you have done, let them talk, but you yourselves don't go, blowing your own trumpets about your own goodness, blowing your trumpets about how much you have donated. Okay, I've always given the examples, certain examples, like is in our Eastern culture. Okay, like Stephen Chow, he donated so much that he did not even keep track of it. Okay, and he even donated his bone marrow, okay, to this kid who was having cancer. Okay, then there's also Louis Koo, who donated so much. Every the money that he got from his movies and everything were all donated to build schools in China. Okay, so when people do not know about it until one day somebody just discovered that his name was actually in it. So it was like more than like 100 schools, 100 schools. So they have done all this charity in silence. Okay, nobody know what they're doing, and in fact they were defamed. Okay, like Stephen Chow was said to be so stingy. Okay, he was said to be the most materialistic guy on earth because all he cares about is money. All right, but they only see the surface of it. They see how much his movies gross in the blockbusters. They see how much he earns. Okay, how much is his investments in business, but they did not see his charity because he never announced any of his charity. To him, it is nothing at all. He just gives. Okay, to him, it is just something that is natural to do. But people condemn him for being money faced. They say that he's very stingy. Okay, so they have done all these things under colors. They don't tell anything, and nobody is able to keep track of them. But the sincerity of it, it is all documented by these the good and the bad guardians that they were born with. Okay, so they have managed to do all this goodness without telling other people. Okay, you can also do your charity without telling other people. You don't need to be like, of course, companies sometimes you need to do publicity. That's why they will do charity, and then after that there is this big mock check, and then there is also a lot of flashing photographers flashing all these flashlights and snapping photographs about how many thousands that the company has given to charity, or how many millions that they have put into scholarship to sponsor so many children for education. They are good deeds, no doubt, they are good deeds. But if you want to, something which we call 这样的, okay, you want to collect your merits quietly, undercover, under radar, nobody to detect. You just give your charity. Okay, nobody needs to know about it. You don't even need to announce it to the world. Okay, you can do that. Okay, so all this, the good and the bad, will be weighed during the judgment day. And because of this, okay, when you look at all these things, okay, back to our pillars, there is this um when people become comfortable with life. Okay, why is it that you see monks, they are not to lead a comfortable life? They have only that piece of rope and another rope spare. They only have one bowl for the alms food. They only have, in the past we have already have that ruling where the monks will only eat once a day. And there is also the ruling about the monks not carrying money. And then there is also that monks do not live in a temple for permanent stays and things like this, right? These are to avoid people from indulging in the luxuries. When you start feeling comfortable, okay, your mind starts to wander, and then you start to have desires. The more comfortable you are, the more your desires are. If you were to look at people, okay, there the desires of humans are endless, right? When you started out, right, you probably, as a fresh graduate, during my time as a fresh graduate, I will be more than happy if I could get 1,200 ringgit as a salary. But after that, you look at today, everyone is like, you know 3,500 as a starting pay. So at that time, when I was 1,200 for salary, I will still eat. I eat one meal a day. I do not have. I could not afford a car, so I ride a bicycle. I could not afford to buy a house, so I don't buy a house. I live with my mother. I live with my family. Okay, I couldn't afford to eat out. I couldn't afford to indulge in those luxury, boutique cafes and those cute, beautiful coffee nowadays that we have in the market now. So I just don't, right? I just don't. But today, when we look at all that's happening now, because during that time, there comes a wave where people start saying that when I grew up in such scarcities, my parents were stingy, so I earn money and I want to indulge my children when they are born. Okay, so the act of indulging the children, allowing the children to have whatever that they want, whatever material things that they desire when they are very young, and then let them immerse them in all the luxuries and things like this, they are not able to take on the bitter lives. Okay, if let's say they have anything like, if you look at the workforce today, okay, when they do something wrong, they might not say sorry. Okay, when they do things, or rather they don't do things, okay, some people, they will just go there and then they apple polish the bosses, and then after that they just use all kinds of tax and all kinds of ways. They don't really put in the efforts to get the job done. Okay, but they are putting the effort to polish the boss. Okay, so to please the bosses. So when this happens, what these people usually do is that they will gaslight other people. They will talk bad about other people to their bosses. They will poke other people's back to their bosses. But they will have a limited life mindset, thinking that by degrading other people, they will be able to go up. Okay, so where did all these habits come from? All these habits come from the fact that they do not want to experience bad lives. Okay, so instead of working hard, instead of thinking hard and getting the job done, they took what seems to be the quick way out. Okay, but all this quick way out is actually documented by your good and your bad. Okay, so it is being documented, and there is a hell for that. Okay, there is also a hell for that. So um when they become indulge in such luxuries, okay, kids these days, they indulge in such luxuries, they are not able to take the bitter life, and the more they indulge, the more, I will say, the mind is not able to think properly. Okay, our mind is such that we are able to distinguish between the good and the bad. Okay, but if you were to indulge too much, you have too much money, you become too luxurious, you cannot really distinguish the good and the bad. You will always say that there's a gray area. There are things that it is wrong, okay, but you justify that it is right. That's how a lot of people are doing these days, and they think that they can get away with the law, and that's why it is the right thing to do. They escape the problems of today, but in the end, they actually fall into the hells. Okay, so lewd thoughts come from when you start indulging too much. Okay, you just look at those people after if you very simple. When a man is, you can just look at all the analogies of this modern world. When a man is poor, he will be very nice to the girlfriend, okay, and then very nice to the wife, ask the wife to marry him, and then after that they work hard together. Okay, that is when the man is poor. And then there's always a saying, do not let a man become rich, or else he will have other women. Okay, so this is actually because the indulgence of the luxuries will lead you to be um, attached to things that are material. Okay, remember, the roots of hell are greed, anger, and ignorance. Okay, greed is something that people are hard to avoid. Okay, you just have to go look at food, for example, right? Now there is a lot of diet. Okay, some people was asking me, in fact, just recently a colleague was walking behind me, and then after that she suddenly come up to me, hey, actually you're very thin, how do you do it, give me some tips. She said this way, but I can tell you, I don't really have that much tips. Okay, I don't go on a carb-free diet. I don't go on any specific kind of a diet, and I eat all kinds of things. I eat all kinds of junks. I eat all kinds of snacks. Okay, things that people will call it as junk food today, I will eat. Okay, but how do I eat? Every day we don't really need that much of a quota to fuel our body. Okay, for me, most of my fuel is actually up here because I am not doing manual labor, so I am working with my head. So what is inside my head, even that thing inside my head also, I try to let the first thoughts come in, because the first thoughts is the most natural thoughts. So what happens was that most of the time when I look at something, um, previously also this same colleague, she was asking me to help her about something, think of an idea for something. I said, okay, let me go sleep and think it over. And of course I went to sleep and then I woke up with an idea. Okay, because I don't want to overthink. All right, I just let my head process naturally, because our head is capable of processing things naturally, just like our body does not really need that much fuel. Okay, so when your body does not need that much fuel, naturally you don't really need that much food in your body. Okay, so how do people indulge? That greed is inside there. The greed that is to satisfy our tongue, right? The greed that is to satisfy saying that, oh, I must eat that. It's so fragrant, okay? The smell of it, so fragrant. And then the taste of it, oh, so good, right? But in the process, your greed is actually indulging you into overstuffing yourself. And that is how you become fat. Okay, similarly, this kind of greed, the moment you start indulging in one greed, it will lead to the next greed. Your greed for money, that is material. Your greed for um, anything that is to satisfy all your five senses. Okay, the greed to look at beautiful things. You look at all the cosmetics now. Okay, all the makeup kits, all the plastic surgeries, everything. You ask me, I also like to look at beautiful things. I like to look at handsome guys as well, right? I like to look at beautiful flowers. I like to look at beautiful paintings. I like to look at anything that's beautiful also, right? But do you become obsessed with it? Okay, do you become like, it becomes your sole criteria, one of your main criteria for you to be friends with somebody, for you to choose one over the other? Has that become your criteria? Okay, but on that side, my liking of beautiful things, okay, what I consider is handsome, what I consider is beautiful, all these things, I am not only looking at the outward, okay, I am looking at how a person is conducting himself, how honest the integrity, the way that this person is actually doing things. Okay, okay, there can be things presented to you as an event. Okay, how you choose to react to it. Will it be a decision for you to move to the good, or will it be a decision for you to move to the bad? If I have presented you with something, right, and it's up to you to decide. I've already told you that this has this good and the bad points. And if, let's say, you understand that the bad points outweighs the good points, and you still choose to say yes to this, then it is up to you. It's your own karma. Okay, but you can also choose to decline, right? Nobody is putting a gun on you and then say that you must take it, like it or don't like it, you must have it. If you are being forced to accept something, whether you like it or you don't like it, you know that the integrity is not good, but then they are forced to take it. Trust me, the sin is on the other people, the other person who forced it onto you. Okay, and your acceptance is a tolerance. Okay, the tolerance that you have built in accepting this is actually one of the good points that you will get, the merit that you get. Okay, but how you are going to manage it? Okay, if whatever you accepted is not going to harm the entire thing, you're able to control it, and it's not going to harm the entire thing, then by all means go ahead. It's still fine. Okay, you can still tolerate and be patient and to keep this thing here until the karma expires. Okay, then the whatever, the person or whatever, will just go away, right? But if, let's say, this is actually going to affect other people, okay, cause troubles to other people, there are also two ways. Either you help to get rid of this whatever it is, speed up the process of eliminating the karma, of extinguishing the karma, or you can just let karma run its own course. And then let whatever, if let's say there is a past life, there is anything owned by other people to this whatever person with the lack of integrity or whatever, then you just let it continue. Okay? And then after that, you just, when the karma expires, then it'll just be gone. Okay? So the indulgence of it, you see the good and the bad. Okay? If you still choose because of the outlook, and then you, without the integrity, you still choose the outlook, and then you just become greedy with the look itself. Okay? You satisfy your eye, okay, you satisfy your desire, but you fall to hell. Okay, you look at your wife at home, or you look at your husband at home, okay, not as attractive as when you started dating when you were very young, okay, but they grow with you over the years. Okay, but when you indulge, you start thinking that I have a lot of money. So remember, when you have a lot of money, then you're around you, there are people who wants your money. Okay, there are people that you attract. There are people who, if you were poor, they won't come to you. So if you just gluttonously accept it, okay, you become greedy. You become greedy to this sweetness that this other person offers you. Okay, the lewd thoughts start coming out. Oh, if this one becomes just one night or whatever, okay, become my mistress or whatever, okay, become my toy boy, okay, whatever. If you entertain those thoughts and you make those thoughts into reality, you are going to this hell with the pillars. Okay, if you were to spread pornography, okay, especially when you become somebody who will print pornography books, digital media, or you create videos and everything, right? Just to introduce this, you become an educator. Remember, every single piece that you put out is a piece of information that can either help that person to come to a realization and enlightenment, or it can bring the person into something undesirable. When you talk about pornography, for somebody who is going to be enlightened by photography, you will think that you look at all these people doing the lewd acts and you say, yes, this is like, what kind of an indulgence is this? Okay, because your body will eventually is actually full of what are our body? Flesh and bone. Okay, also tears, pus, sweat, dirt, whatever. Okay, bowel. Okay, your poop and your urine. Okay, so if you were to think of all these lewd acts, when you watch all these lewd acts as pornography, and then you feel like, oh, I also have that desire, okay, you just suddenly feel like, oh, you must do it as well. When you have that kind of thoughts, then you are being pulled into this hell. Okay, but if let's say you become enlightened, okay, if in the past life you have done meditation, or you have been, right, educating yourself for enlightenment, whatever, you realize that these acts are disgusting. Okay, the entire body itself, all these acts, it is yucks. Okay, so you just close the entire thing and then you move away. You get enlightened. Okay, so every single material that can be good and bad, but pornography, okay, the act of creating the pornography, okay, for some people, I think this video may get protests from those who are in this industry. Okay, so it is an education, especially to the young minds, especially to the minds that are not still, to those that are not able to decipher the good and the bad. They will think that this is a norm. Okay, all these lewd sexual activities are a norm to them, so their minds become polluted. And because they watch your videos, because they flip the pages of your photography magazine or whatever, you educate them, so your sin is very heavy. And don't blame any other people, or don't think that it is an excuse to say that it is just a job. It's not your duty or responsibility to educate them that this is just for entertainment purposes. You can't use that excuse when you are in hell. It doesn't work because your good and your bad is already being measured. Okay, so the good and the bad that is being measured, okay, other than just now I was talking about the charity, the sincerity of your heart of giving the charity, the good and the bad is also going to multiply based on your influence on other people. Okay, when you do pornography, you are influencing A, B, C, D, E, 5 people, okay, who watch this pornography. So when they watch this pornography, if they are going to be enlightened, you are safe. Okay, but very likely they are not going to be enlightened, and they will indulge in all these sexual acts and all these lewd thoughts and everything because of your video. And the way that you polluted their minds will also be counted into your bad points, right? So the richer you are, the higher your influence. Okay, like for example, there are many people who want to be social media influencers these days, right? And social media influencers, there are many ways. Either you become an educator, or either you are doing something that just let people indulge. Okay, if you were to look at some of these influencers, okay, they wear very skimpy dresses. Okay, for the males, they take off their clothes to show their muscles. Okay, for the girls, they wear so skimpy, so little cloth. Oh my god. So when you introduce somebody like this, what are they looking at? Are they looking at the message that you're really trying to convey, or are they looking at your body and satisfying their senses? Okay, have you ever thought of that consequences? Right, if you have never thought of that consequences, you may want to think about it. But I think this message will not reach those are who are in this kind of field, because their karma is not going to invite you into watching this video. Unless you have the karma for enlightenment that is almost ripe, then you'll be able to watch this video by chance, and you will be very serious about this, and you're going to think about how to change your approach as a social media influencer. Remember, as an influencer, you're educating other people to the good or to the bad. Okay, if to the good, your merits will increase. If to the bad, you are going to hell. Okay, I'm not joking. All right, my videos in this hell scenes, and also in the infinite lifetime sutra, whatever that I am talking about in there, they are very serious stuff, even though sometimes my presentation may be a little bit weird, okay, a little bit funny or whatever, but all the things that I'm talking about here are really serious stuff. Okay, things that are going to determine whether you're going to hell or going to heaven in your afterlife. Okay, so right, so after all these pornography things, okay, you embrace, and then you get that red hot copper pillar. Okay, it's not like you get burned once and then you already burn off the karma. No, you hug the pillar, you get burned, scorched, killed. You just, if those of you who have an oven at home, okay, you just look at your oven when you're grilling your chicken, okay, or cooking whatever, your fish, your chicken, your meat, okay. The moment it starts to burn, okay, the meat will start to burn, and then after that it will become well cooked and things like this, right? Then you consume. Same thing goes for you. You are hugging the copper pillar, and then your entire body gets cooked. You die, you reborn again, and then you hug that pillar again, and you get cooked and you die again. You imagine, okay, the meat that you're cooking in your oven is dead. Okay, it's just meat, but you are alive. Despite not having a physical body, you are experiencing a life, experiencing that burn when you're hugging that pillar. You're experiencing that death, being cooked alive by that copper pillar. You are experiencing the scorching, the burning, and everything in that hell. Okay, suffering that punishment. After you finish that, okay, the time and also the space in hell is different from what we are experiencing here in human life. a day in hell can be many years in our human life. So if you were to need to suffer for this, let's say just 100 years, okay, your sentence is 100 years in this hell. It can be thousands of years, okay, in who's this? Give me a minute, please. Sorry, just a wrong number. Okay, so if you were to look at it, right, after you have died, you have to reborn, you have to hug that pillar again, and then you get burned and cooked again, right? Continuously, you think about it. How are you going to suffer? 100, if I sentence you to 100 years in that hell, how many thousands of years have passed in the human life, right? So, do you want to suffer that way? No, right? But after you have finished your sentence there, you don't think that is over, okay? You will be reborn, high chances of reborn as an animal, okay? Why you reborn as animal? Because you are ignorant, okay? You have no wisdom. That's why you indulge in all this, the pornography and everything, and you're educating other people into the pornography and everything. So you have no wisdom. When you have no wisdom, you get reborn as an animal, and you don't think about those pets at home, okay, that are enjoying all the luxuries in life. You think of the animal kingdom as a whole, the animal in the forest, the animals in the zoo, okay? Never mind those that are born and become pets. Even some pet animals are not being treated well. And what is the thing that's happening in the animal kingdom? They will grow up, they will become adults, they will be indulged, they will have sexual acts. The female will continue giving birth to children until they die, or they are being consumed by other animals. Okay, this is how it works in the animal kingdom. So if you want to be reborn as that way, then go ahead, right? But after you have finished your karma in the animal kingdom, maybe you can become a human. But when you become a human, you become a very poor human. You are despised by the society, you are hated by the people, okay? You will have short lives, you have harsh lives. Why is that so? How did that karma come to be? You get rich selling for pornography materials, so you deprive other people of the material riches through wrongful means. That's why in your new life you will become poor, destitute. You will be despised by people because you have taught people to live such a lowly life, losing the respect of themselves and losing the respect of other people through their indulgence in sexual acts. So having no respect, you will not be respected. In your new life, you'll be despised by the society. And then when you're talking about the short lifespan and everything, right? That will also come when you're actually indulging and you're not collecting the good merits. Okay, so seeing all these things, do you want to go into this kind of hell? Okay, and this I'm only talking into the extreme of the pornography, the sellers and the actors and those who are educating other people. What about those who commit adultery? Okay, you have a wife or you have a husband, and then you still indulge with in sexual misconduct with other people. Okay, it could be other people's girlfriends, could be other people's wife, or could be somebody that you say at the spur of the moment is my true love. Okay, there can be such situations. So all these will also go into the same hell. Okay, you will still need to hug the pillars. Why? Because if you are a father of children, if you are a mother of children and you indulge in an adulterous relationship with another, it sets as a bad example to your children. Your children will lose faith in the constitutions of marriage. Your children will lose faith in the concept of family. Your children will lose faith about human relationships. They will think that, oh, all these loose sexual acts are actually natural. So you are educating them When they grow up, they will think that it is natural for a man and a woman to conduct themselves loosely, right? You are an educator, okay? You are also setting a bad example to the society. Some people, they may just, if they are very rich, they just outwardly display that they are playing outside, okay, while their spouses are at home. So they will, like, you look at the social media now, sometimes they will show, right, this married rich man or rich woman indulging, going to pubs or bars or whatever, those nightclubs and everything, and then they become like engrossed with the body of another person, a younger person, and things like this. These are actually educating and telling people that, hey, it is okay for you to be doing that. Okay, you're educating wrong way. Okay, people who are just coming up to the society, they will think that, okay, if let's say they get into a profession in the nightclubs, okay, and then they see that you are spending lavishly on these people that are offering these physical services, they will think that we have no choice. Okay, this is the way of life, this is how we can earn a living, and they can earn a really good living within a short time, because the money that they earn are actually from their past life accumulation karma. Okay, but they are just getting it fast forward, doing all these um, unnatural ways of earning the money. So, well, this is the kind of education that you are giving to others. So it is not just between you and the other person. Okay, many people, they could not think and they could not associate the correlation between what they're doing and the education of the society as a whole. So you're setting a bad example by doing all these things. So that's why you are going to burn in this hell. You're going to hug the caterpillar. You're going to be burnt and cooked, and you're going to die, and then you're going to come back again and again, many um hell lifetimes. Okay, when you're dead, you are alive again, and you're being cooked again, and you're dead, and you're alive again, and being cooked again. Okay, so I thought that we can finish with the iron bed, but I think we'll have to continue with the iron bed in next episode, because now I've exceeded 45 minutes. It's now 57 minutes. Okay, so right, so hell pillars. Remember, if you would like to escape from this hell, which is very scary, please correct your thoughts. Okay, don't have lewd thoughts. Okay, don't think about the indulgence with other people, and don't educate other people to be indulged in such sexual misconduct. I will see you again. Meanwhile, take good care. Bye bye. Amitabha.